What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky with Video Homicide, back with another movie recommendation. Today, we're going to go back to the year 1992 to take a look at a film directed by Sam Raimi, and that film is called Army of Darkness. So Army of Darkness is the third installment in the Evil Dead franchise. Evil Dead 1 and 2 are two of my favorite films of all time. I think Evil Dead 1 is a masterpiece when it comes to like special effects, especially there's a lot of really good stop motion in there. Love that stuff, always did. Evil Dead 2, on the other hand, scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid. I'd seen Evil Dead 2 first. All right, my dad had it, showed it to me and my cousin, and I specifically remember us renting Evil Dead 1 from Starlight Variety, which was across the street from the apartments we lived at. So I remember, before watching Evil Dead 1, I remember shitting my pants. I got my fucking little bag of sour cream and onion chips and my can of Pepsi and probably like a coffee crisp, and I'm like ready to watch Evil Dead 1, right? Because it's a big deal when you're a kid, you know what I mean? Like, it's sort of like, I don't think it's that big of a deal nowadays, but like when I was a kid, when we were, like me and my cousin, my brother and stuff, like watching a movie meant something more than just like killing time. You know what I mean? Like we were sort of transformed or, sent to these cinematic universes where we sort of lived for an hour and a half. Like I remember watching Chucky a million times. I remember watching Halloween 1 and 2 a million times, and just all sorts of stuff that we shouldn't have watched when we were kids. But God bless my dad, God bless my mom, God bless my Aunt Chris, because they let us watch whatever the fuck we wanted. And Evil Dead 1 and Evil Dead 2, they were big parts of my life back then. Even me and my Uncle Mike, we would joke about Evil Dead 2, like the scene where, the deer's going ape shit and like laughing its ass off and stuff. Like, yeah, as I got older, it became humorous. But when I was a kid, it freaked me out so fucking bad. And then when I came to discover that there was a third film, Army of Darkness, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be insane. The end of Evil Dead 2 is so dope. How he goes to that faraway land, you know what I mean, and kills the Deadite, and Sam Raimi, I think, is the one guy that's cheering him on and all that shit, and he's the savior. Now you pop on Army of Darkness, it doesn't really go that way, okay? And that might have been what initially kind of turned me off from this film, because I'll admit I like this film. I wouldn't be talking about it if I didn't like it, but I just, when I was a kid, like I can take it now, I can deal with it now. But when I was a kid, I was like, nah, fuck that shit. And plus, it was, too funny and all this stuff. There was too much humor. Like, okay, yeah, Evil Dead 2, funny movie. When you're older, when you're a kid, not so much. I didn't see Army of Darkness when I was a kid. I saw it when I was probably like 13, in that area. I'd already watched fucking a bunch of other crazy stuff, so I was primed. And horror comedies have never really been my forte, if you want to say that. You know what I mean? I'm more a fan of I love slashers, but I guess now, like where I'm at now, I just like good murder mystery films. So like a good giallo, like you cannot go wrong. Deep Red is one that I want to rewatch. All the Argento stuff. Shout out to Necro Style, my homie Richie the Caterpillar out of the UK. He actually designed the cover art for the documentary Panico, which is Dario Argento's documentary that just was released on Shudder not long ago. So big kudos to Richie. That's fucking awesome. He's part of Team 187. Speaking of, for anybody that doesn't know, I have a zine called Cinema 187, where a bunch of artists get together and just draw stuff out of horror films. So issue 1, like to put it in perspective, I always do this because it's fucking insane. Issue 1 had 4 people. Issue 2, which is the Robert Crumb homage, if you're a fucking fan of Robert Crumb, 9 people. This one had like 24, which is number 3. Issue 4 right here had like 28. We cover the video nasties in this one. And then the most recent issue, which is issue 5, the Asian exploitation issue, there's like 25, 26-ish or something like that. And the thing that's even crazy, upcoming issue 666, 32 people. 32 fucking people are now involved in 187, and Richie the Caterpillar is one of them. So let's get back to Army of Darkness. So the things that I love about the film, I love that it's goofy, okay? Like I said, when I was a kid, I didn't like that shit. But now, I remember specifically when I was a kid watching the scene where he like pours the hot liquid down his mouth to kill like the miniature ashes. I was like, that is so fucking stupid. This time, maybe it's because I was high as a fucking kite tonight when I watched it, but I was like, I was laughing my ass off the majority of the film, which was refreshing, okay? A few things, though, that I that kind of pissed me off for an Evil Dead film, not a lot of blood. Not a lot of blood. Early on in the film, you get like a geyser of blood, really nice, like bright red blood squirting out of that fucking cellar. I don't know. There should have been more blood in this film, I think. I like the way that Evil Ash looked, but I wasn't a fan of the way that Sheila looked. I wasn't a fan of the original witch in the cellar there, or not in the cellar, sorry, the well. You know, I think that everything, all of the dead, like Henrietta, they should have, like, where's the quality of that? You know, the stuff that they showed in this film was so fucking, they were very generic looking, and that's what I think I didn't like about it. Because when you look back to Evil Dead 2 especially, like, look at the blonde-haired guy, what happens to his face, and what happens to the fucking, you know, like the original, like, Linda. Like, all that stuff to me looked so much better, and it's like, you guys had so much more money, you got Universal fucking Studios behind you, and the effects look better in Evil Dead 2, you know? It's insane. But like, if you can look past that, you got a fucking fun movie. I love medieval movies, and I love horror films, and I'm sort of in this, like, mindset recently of Evil Dead's basically on my mind because I'm writing this comic for issue 6 that takes place at a cabin. Okay, so I'll just leave it at that, and that will be probably the last comic I make this year, other than Filthy Ralph out on parole. For any of you guys that don't know, I also do a comic book called Filthy Ralph. This is the most recent story, but I do have like full-size comics and stuff like that. Like Blood Drunk is actually the thing that I'm most proud of. This is the most crazy thing that I did all year so far, but I'm looking to outdo this coming soon with my my next comic, which is actually called Blood Drunk Part 2, mind you. And that will wrap up the Blood Drunk story because I don't want to milk it too hard. Maybe I'll milk it into a third one, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, what I was getting at is with like the whole Evil Dead thing, like tonight when I got home, scrolling around, seen Evil Dead 2 on Shudder, I believe, or maybe it was on Tubi, and I put it on for a minute, and I was like, you know what? This fucking gives me like the perfect opportunity. Like, I haven't watched this in so long, but you know I haven't seen even longer is motherfucking Army of Darkness. I'll do it for my buddy Forrest, Retro or Die, man. So I like the old wise man. I like the asshole guy with the fucking straight hair and all that stuff. Like, what the hell is his name? Something the Red. Henry the Red. I liked all that stuff. My favorite part about Henry the Red is when, like, he's about to die, basically, and then Ash saves the day, and he's like, all right, you guys go, get out of here. And then Henry the Red just starts laughing. He, like, grabs the guy and, like, laughs in his face, and it's like, that is the laugh of a man that thought he was about to die 10 seconds ago, and now he's free. Like, I just like shit like that. And I really loved the scene where Ash goes into, like, the trunk of his car looking for parts or some bullshit. And you actually see an issue of Fangoria, and you also see an issue of Dark Horse Presents. So for my comic book heads out there, Dark Horse Presents, I think that Sin City might have got its start in the pages of Dark Horse Presents, but I could be wrong on that. Big Sin City fan. I love that fucking book. It's pretty goddamn good. I'm due to reread that. I keep saying that, but I really got to get my ass in gear and check that book out again. Or books, I should say. There's 7 fucking books in the series, but other shit I like about Army of Darkness. Love the way that all the graveyards look great. One thing that, like, always cracks me up about this film is, like, the Book of the Dead, or, like, the books of the dead, the Necronomicons. They're, like, just on a table like that. Here's my biggest pet peeve, man. Oh fuck, I just dropped Michael Myers and I almost dropped Chucky. This is the Book of the Dead from Evil Dead 2. Okay? This is like the DVD. I remember when I found this, I finally fucking got a copy of this. I was so happy when I did, but this is sick. Okay? The book they used in Evil Dead 1 is fucking sick, but the book they used in Evil Dead 3, wasn't a fan. Didn't think it was that great. I'm just looking at my wall right here because I did alphabetize everything up to F, I want to say. Okay, so there we go. Might as well bust out the whole Evil Dead experience here. So you started off something proper. Evil Dead 1 for $2 that I fucking paid $2 for, and this is the Anchor Bay. It's got commentary with Sam Raimi and producers. Got a commentary with Bruce Campbell, behind the scenes footage and outtakes. Good stuff. DVDs rule and always will. Evil Dead 2. Fucking love it. We got commentary with Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, Greg Nicotero, Scott Spiegel, interviews with the cast, featurettes, and whatnot. Fuck yes. And then the remake of Evil Dead, which I like. This movie is nice and violent, and that's what I like about it, and that's pretty much it. And I like it takes place in a cabin. I like the basement with all the dead cats, all that bullshit, witchcrafty stuff. I like the nerdy asshole deciphering the book. But other than that, I think the characters are fucking whack. They're insufferable. I hate them, especially the main girl and the main guy. Don't like them. I'm sorry, but you know, what can you fucking say? Other than that, I really do enjoy this film. And when you're fucking late at night, you get yourself a copy of this. Okay. Anyways, I'm just trying to think if I got any final thoughts on Evil Dead. The version that I watched tonight, I don't know if if I already mentioned this or not, but it was the version where at the end of the film, Sam Raimi takes the 6 drips or drops of that shit, wakes up too late, and it's like a Planet of the Apes style fucking, no kind of thing. Because the other version that I have on VHS that I seen when I was a kid is the one where at the end of it he's working in a variety store, or not a variety store. Or maybe it's this version that I watched where I seen him where he works in the supermarket. But regardless, Army of Darkness, is it a good film? Yes, I like it. Bruce Campbell, is he a fuckhead? Is he a fuckhead? No, he's not. I like Bruce Campbell. So basically for 10 years I've been pulling a farce on my friend Retro or Die. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody for watching. If you want to order the zines, message me at cinema.187 on Instagram. And with that being said, 666. Adios.